Hi everyone. In this video lesson, we're going to go over solving systems of equations using substitution. When we're solving systems, we can describe the solution in one of three ways. We can say that the solution is consistent if we have one solution. We can say the solution is inconsistent if we have no solutions for that system, or dependent if the solution has many. If the system has many solutions. All right, let's look at the first one. So we're solving by substitution. Notice how the first equation, y equals x plus 5, this first equation has already been solved for y. Because it's been solved for y, what I'm going to do right now is just put parentheses around the value of y, and that's going to be our replacement value for this y in the second equation. All right, let's do that. So we're going to start copying 2x first, and then we're going to replace y with the value of y, which is x plus 5. Continue copying the equation and then solve it for x. 2x plus 1x, that's 3x plus 5 equals -4. Subtract 5 from both sides. You'll have 3x equals -9. Divide by 3. X is -3. So that means the x value for this system here is -3. The x value for the solution for the system is -3. Now let's find the y value for this solution. So we're going to go back to the original y. I'm using the top equation, y equals x plus 5, because it's already solved for y. I'm just going to replace x with -3 because we found x to be -3. So -3 plus 5, that is the value of y. So let's see what that is. -3 plus 5, well, that's 2. So that means the value of y is 2. So this system has one solution at -3, 2. Now let's check. Okay, especially if you're taking a test, you want to be sure that you gave the right answer. So let's check if that is correct. Okay, so I'm going to copy the top equation. And then I'm going to replace x with -3 and y with 2. 2 equals -3 plus 5. Do you see that 2 equals 2? So it does work, but it has to work in both equations. So let's try checking the second one. 2x plus y equals -4. Let's replace x with -3 and y with 2 and see if this equation is true. So we have -6 plus 2 equals -4. -4 equals -4 is a true equation. That means our solution does check. It is correct that -3, 2 is a common solution for this system. All right, let's go to the next one. Again, we're going to do the same thing. The top one has already been solved for y. I'm going to put parentheses around the y value, and that's what we're going to replace here for y. So we'll have 3 times the value of y, which is -2x plus 5. Equals, so I took 3 times y, but y is -2x plus 5 from up here. And I'm just going to copy the other side. All right, now we're going to distribute here and here. So we'll have -6x plus 15 equals -x minus 5. All right, let's get all of the x's on the same side. Let's add x to both sides. and we'll have negative 5x plus 15 equals negative 5. Subtract 15 from both sides. Negative 20, because negative 5 plus negative 15 is negative 20. We're going to divide both sides by negative 5. So that means x is 4. So we found the x value of the solution for this system here, but we still need to find the y value. Okay, we're going to go to the top equation, y equals negative 2x plus 5, and we're going to replace x with 4 to find y. Times 4 plus 5. Y equals negative 8 plus 5. That means y equals negative 3. So our y value is negative 3. But we got to make sure and check that is the correct solution. So we're going to go ahead and check. Check 4 comma negative 3. All right, we'll start with the top one. Y equals negative 2x plus 5. Replace y with negative 3 and x with 4. So it does check, negative 3 equals negative 3. In the top one, now let's look at the bottom one, 3y equals negative x minus 5. Replace y with negative 3. Replace x with 4. Use parentheses when you have a negative in front of your variable. So this is going to be negative 9 equals negative 4 plus negative 5 is negative 9. It does check, so our solution 4 comma negative 3 is correct for this system. So this system is consistent because it has one solution. Okay, I'm going to skip 3 because it's more of the same. Let's go to number 4. Okay, notice that number 4, we don't have any equation solved for y, and we don't have an equation solved for x. When we're solving by substitution, one of the equations has to be solved for y or solved for x. So let's look at the top equation. We can, if we want, solve it for x. If we add 2y to both sides, the y's here will cancel. We're going to get x on one side by itself, and the other side, we're going to take the sum of these two terms, which is going to be 2y minus 2. We can't combine them because they're not like terms. Okay, so what that means right now is I have a substitution value for x. So in the second equation, I can replace x with 2y minus 2. So when we're talking about substitution, we can use a replacement for x or we can use a replacement for y. And we just use whatever is easiest, okay? So in the second equation, we're going to replace x with 2y minus 2 because we have a replacement for x this time, not y. And then copy the rest of the equation. So we'll have, when we distribute 6y, we'll have 6 plus 2y equals 34. Well, 6y plus 2y is 8y minus 6 equals 34. We add 6 to both sides. So 8y equals 40. That means y is 5. Okay, so we have the y value for the solution for this system. We have y equals 5, so put it here for the y value. We're still missing the x value. We need to find the x value. So we're going to go up right here into this equation because this equation and this equation are equivalent. Okay, so let's replace y here with 5 and solve it for x. So that's 10 minus 2, so that means x is 8. Okay, so we have 8, 5 as our solution, but we should check this solution 8, 5 to see if that is true. Okay, in the top one, I'll just copy it. We're going to replace x with 8 and y with 5. 8 minus 2 times 5. So we'll have 8 minus 10 equals negative 2. So this is going to be negative 2 equals negative 2. It does check. Let's see if it checks in the second one. 3x plus 2y equals 34. 3 times 8, because x is 8, plus 2 times 5, because y is 5. Does that give us 34? Well, we have 24 plus 10 equals 34. Yes, so that's 34 equals 34. That's a true equation. That means the solution for this system is 8, negative 5. Okay, so number 5. You are going to replace, you have a replacement for the x value this time. Just, you're going to do the same thing that we did with 4. You're going to replace x here with 2y minus 5 and solve it for y. Once you have the y value, you're going to go back and replace the y value right here in the original top equation to solve for x. You should try it. All right, I'm going to go and look at a different problem with you. Actually, an easy one. So I'm going to look at number 11. Okay, this is actually the easiest one. So they gave you a replacement value for y. All you're going to do is replace y with negative 2. So let's do that. So we'll have 4x minus 3 times negative 2 equals 18. Okay, 4x plus 6, because negative 3 times negative 2 is positive 6. Subtract 6 from both sides. So that means 4x equals 12. That means x equals 3. So x is 3. As you can see right here, x is 3. How do we find y? Well, we don't have to find y. We already have y. Okay, it's right there. Y equals negative 2. So actually, once you find x, you are done with a problem like that because you already have y. Let me just fix this so it's a lot neater so that you can read it. Let's see. So we had 4x equals 12. Divide both sides by 4. X equals 3. So our solution is 3, comma. We don't have to solve for y because it's already solved for y. And this ends this short video on solving